Hello everyone, it's Trayman1 here, and we're back with another Pokemon Sun and Moon anime review. And today, guys, we're talking about two episodes, episode 20 and episode 21. And before we begin, I just wanted to say thank you, Pokemon, to the anime. Thank you to the anime, cause my channel, it's based off the anime. I just want to thank the anime. Thank all the subscribers who are here supporting the channel. And thank you all. So let's get into episode 20. And happy anniversary to Pokemon, to the Pokemon anime. Episode 20 begins with it kind of begins kind of slow. Mallow, Lily, and Lana are just shopping around buying a whole bunch of stuff with Ash, Kiawe, and Sophocles. As they're about to leave, they're like, oh no, we're not done. We're just starting the shopping stuff. So then Kiawe's like, see, I gotta go on Charizard. And Kiawe leaves, and Sophocles is like, oh yeah, I gotta do something too. Sophocles takes off, and Rotom's like, oh my gosh, my show comes on in 17 minutes. And Rotom just takes off. So they leave Ash and Pikachu. Like, Ash is like, I got nothing else to do, so I'll just stay here. And Ash is with the others as they go shopping around and buying some jewelry and all that stuff and clothes and stuff. And Ash, he steps out for a minute, and a lady tells him about Treasure Island. He's interested in going to Treasure Island, and he tells the others that that's where he's going. Him and Pikachu take a boat there, and when they get there, they run into some crab brawlers. The crab brawlers are basically fighting it out, having a good time. And Ash is like, wow, that's amazing and stuff. And they just all run away from him. At first, I thought these Pokemon weren't going to be, too friendly with humans due to it being an island based with Pokemon. No humans are really living on the island. But Ash goes around, sees the cutie flies and all the other Pokemon that's comfy as well. All the other Pokemon that lives on this island. And he's following some executors, trying to mimic them. And then he's like, nah, see. And they all just turn around and look at him all, mad. But then they calm down and then they go to the pond. And I really like this scene because the opening theme starts to play. As Ash and the executors are drinking in the water, playing in the water, and having a good time. They're all playing together. I really enjoyed this scene a lot. It's the theme was very fitting with this scene. After that, the Pokemon, the executors leave off, and Ash is, basically about to go back to the, where he left his clothes at. Well, Ash takes his clothes with him. So, Ash and Pikachu go, and they're playing around and stuff. They fall asleep, and Ash wakes up to a whole bunch of Wimpots just biting on his stuff. And one of the Wimpots grabs Ash's bag of, food, and Ash is just chasing him. Pikachu then goes, and then they get the bag back from the Wimpot as the Wimpots go back into the water. This was a cool introduction to Wimpot. And, yeah, it's something else happens with the Wimpot. As it gets darker and nighttime comes, one Wimpot is stuck in between, these rocks and can't get out. Ash, I like this about Ash. Ash was trying his hardest to try to climb over the rocks to save the Wimpot. He's doing anything he can to try to get to this Pokemon. And even though he keeps falling, he keeps trying again and again and again. Pikachu notices this, runs off, and Ash is like, Pikachu, where are you going? So Ash still trying to climb up, still failing, trying to get the Wimpot. Pikachu comes back with one of the Alolan Executors. And Executor helps Ash and Pikachu so that they can get over the rock, so they can climb in and save Wimpot. Once they climb in, Wimpot starts freaking out because, it's his personality. It's a wimp, basically. And Ash and Pikachu try to find a way out. And Ash tells Pikachu to use Iron Tail on this one rock to make an opening. Once that happens, they're like, Wimpot, you can go now. Wimpot notices this, then goes out and goes back to the sea with his other friends. And Executor walks off knowing that they're safe. But yeah, overall, this was an amazing episode. I really enjoyed it. But the big moment that happened in this episode is Tapu Lele. Ash all beaten up and bruised from trying to go and save Wimpod. Like, he looks up into the moon and sees a Pokemon coming down. It was Tapu Lele. And Tapu Lele comes and basically heals Ash's hands and heals Ash, like, heals all the bruises that he got. So I found that really cool that Tapu Lele actually came and helped Ash out as Tapu Lele left back to the moon. This episode was a pretty amazing episode, and I really enjoyed it, especially like a lot of the scenes that Ash and Pikachu had. When Ash gets home, he talks about it with Rotom and Kukui, and Rotom gives the Pokedex entries for both Wimpod and Tapu Lele, and even after the episode, when like they also have that little scene at the end of the episode after the ending song, they also did it for Cutie Fly as well. And yeah, that's how the episode goes. I really enjoyed this episode. It was amazing seeing Ash and Pikachu bond like this again. Like, it was just Ash and Pikachu. I feel like if any of the other Pokemon were there, or any other traveling companions, it wouldn't have had the same feeling as it did for when I watched the episode. And I really enjoyed this episode a lot. This one, like, the tone of this episode was nothing like the next episode that we're about to talk about. So yeah, that was episode 20, and I really enjoyed it a lot. In the next episode, this episode was very, very emotional. This was the episode that Stoutland passed and litten came and joined Ash in the group. Man, this episode was handled amazingly. Especially since they actually handled something like this in actual Pokemon. Like they have this in the movies, but not really in the anime. And it was so sad and touching. Ash, Kukui had the feels. Meowth had the feels. Rotom didn't understand what's going on. But even to the point where Beware came by and gave Meowth a hug, this episode was so emotional. I mean, man, this episode was simply amazing. From beginning to where Ash and the others were coming home with the donuts, when litten comes and steals one of the donuts and runs off to give it to Stoutland. We see Stoutland is injured, and the foreshadow is amazing, guys. Like, all throughout this episode, leaves been falling from the trees slowly, one by one, foreshadowing what's coming to Stoutland. And I was like, no, Stoutland, please. Like, it was so emotional that, like, wow, it was very well handled. I really enjoyed this episode a lot from beginning to end. This whole episode was just amazing, guys. Like, it was so sad because we hear like when Ash, like, Nurse Joy tells Ash the fate of Stoutland. They close the door so Litten can't hear, and Litten's trying to comfort Stoutland, and it's just so sad. Even me, I was looking surprised of what he heard. And, like, oh man, this episode was just so emotional. Team Rocket, we're going to try to capture Pikachu, but Litten rushes over to Ash and to basically say, hey, Stoutland's not doing too well. That's why Meowth does some research, finds out what's happening. Even Meowth was like, Ash, you need to catch Litten. You need to be there for Litten during this time and everything. That one emotional scene when the last leaf fell, it was so emotional. Litten was sleeping with Stoutland that night. Litten wakes up and Stoutland's gone. The leaf flies off of the tree. Litten's just in the rain. It starts raining and Litten starts crying at the tree. And it was so emotional. I really, really enjoyed this episode. This was very great development for Litten, especially since Stoutland was the one who taught Litten Fire Fang. As you can see in this episode, Litten is trying to use Fire Fang, and Stoutland is showing Litten how to, basically. And even though Litten doesn't master it in this episode, it's still great to see that Litten's going to keep this move for a while. It's like, it was so emotional, man. This episode was really, really well done. Litten was crying and everything. And the most emotional part was when the last leaf flew away and we seen Stoutland in the clouds. I was like, with the rainbow. It was so amazing, guys. So after that, Ash just ruins the mood with his stomach growling. So Litten comes over and gives Ash the fruit Then they're playing together like, no, you get it. You're hungry. No, you're hungry. No, you're hungry. No, you're hungry. And then Pikachu just faints like, ah. And they all laughing. And I guess Litten's feeling better now. And then here we go, the big battle, Pikachu versus Litten. And this battle was amazing, guys. I mean, Pikachu used Iron Tail, Litten used Fire Fang, and Pikachu just threw Litten into the wall. I was like, dang, Pikachu, calm down, go easy on him. You just got over like a sad event. Come on, Pikachu, don't hurt him even more. Like, dang. I feel like Pikachu was going at full force in this battle, and I love that. Especially how Litten was too. They was just going at it full force. But the battle wasn't finished due to a clash between Thunderbolt and Ember. Once the battle was over, Ash has called off the battle, saying, "Hey, Litten, want to join my team?" Ash threw up the Pokeball. Litten jumped in the air, hit it, it shook a few times, and Litten was captured. I have to say, this was a very great build-up for capturing the Pokemon Sun and Moon anime. Especially that they show how they can handle both light and funny episodes and at the same time dark and serious episodes in all in one series. And I really enjoyed that about the Sun and Moon anime a lot. Like, Litten, I cannot wait for its development and can't wait to see if it evolves into a Torracat and an Incineroar. There are hints to evolving into the Torracat and Incineroar as well, so this is pretty interesting, and I cannot wait for Torracat and Incineroar to appear in the anime and see how Incineroar becomes a beast. But yeah, guys, these two episodes were amazing episodes. I really enjoyed episode 21 a lot more, though, in my opinion, because like it was so emotional. But I hope you all enjoyed. Thank you all for watching. And yeah, like, let me know what you thought of this episode, guys. Trade Mail 1. Peace out.